Hi there, a very good morning, good afternoon to all of you, depending on wherever you're watching me. This simply starts with another video, and this video corresponds to a pharma company, a mid-cap pharma company that had come out with very decent numbers. So we'll discuss about that. Let's get started. First of all, disclaimer that this is not a stock recommendation, and people taking any position to any share that I talk about should do that with their own due diligence and research. And I'm not in favor or against any company that I talk about. I'm not a member of the NSE and BSE, and that I'm not a portfolio advisor. So whatever discussions I have is purely on my education and on the basis of my experience over the last 12, 13 years into the market. So kindly do consult your financial advisor before taking any call on analysis or investment into the stocks that I discuss. So before I talk about this pharma company, here's small request to kindly support me on Patreon. And once you do that, help me grow the channel, help you also ask me questions, seek out answers in greater detail. Once you get the $10 membership, you'll have access to my portfolio. You have access to my a lot of podcasts that I discussion on domestic and global economies, analysis on you can say companies, and answer to whatever queries you have with respect to the markets. So in order to discuss about this company, let me take you to the Screener website. So here we are at the Screener website. In order to discuss about it, we have come to the Screener website and let's discuss about Alchem Labs. Alchem Labs is a very interesting company. We've seen that the pharma index altogether has broken out. So if you look at the Nifty Pharma Index, that has also taken off over the last year or so since October of last year, and now is probably 50% higher from the breakout point of 15,000 level. So I believe that pharma is going to be the theme along with IT and export oriented companies. You have ceramics, infrastructure, export oriented auto companies. They should do well with the rate cuts taking place in US. So one of the companies in that respect is Alchem Labs, 75,000 crore market cap company, at 35 times it is trading at. Came out with very decent Q1 numbers. Still, the stock did not move that much apart from its movement over the last, you can say, 1.5 months. Before that, it was in a range and now has taken off. So let's discuss what the company does. So basically, Alchem Labs is engaged in pharmaceutical business with global operations. The company is engaged in the development, manufacturing, and sale of pharmaceutical and nutraceutical products. Basically, which is you can say products related to human nutrition. They provide that. Alchem is the fifth largest player in domestic formulation market with a market share of around 4% as on March 2022. It has established its leadership position in acute therapy with a strong market position in anti-infection products or medicines, you can say. So their product portfolio includes branded generics, generic drugs, APIs, nutraceuticals, and biosimilars, all sorts of products Alchem makes. And so they have anti-infection, you can say, products or medicines, gastrointestinal, VMN, pain relievers, neuropsychotic drugs, derma drugs, which are related to skin care, cardiac as well. So these are the high, you can say, margin kind of drugs or products or medicines that they are making. Currently, 71% of their revenue comes from the domestic market, and around 20% of their revenue comes from 29% from the export markets. Their top brands includes Clevem, Pen 40, Taxim is another one. Different Taxim injections are there of Alchem, and there are other products as well. So each of the top 10 brands in acute therapy held the top two positions in their respective, you can say, molecular categories globally for Alchem, indicating its strong, you can say, brand recall. So Alchem is one of the best, you can say, in the business altogether. It has gradually expanded its presence in overseas markets through organic and inorganic acquisitions, with the presence across 40 countries, with you can say primary focus being in US, but they have you can say expanded their business in Europe, Australia, apart from presence in semi-regulated markets like the Philippines, Chile, Kazakhstan, West Asia, East Africa, etc. 22% from the US market the business comes from, and the remaining 7% in the export markets from the rest of the world. So 22% US, 7 from rest of the world, 71% from India. That's how their business is. In terms of numbers, if we come to the numbers on the quarterly basis, in the June quarter, what they did was 3,000 crores of sales versus around 3,029.70 crores of sales. But look at the margin expansion from around 13% in June of 23. It has expanded to 20%. Even from last quarter, 14%, it has gone up to 20%. So it looks like the margins are coming back. So if you look at on a yearly basis, the margins used to be around 18% in 2016, 2017, and even 22%, 19% in just during the pandemic, just after pandemic. So I think they could get back to around 19% margins. And if 19% margins persist, and even if there is a growth of say around 4-5% on the sales front, if we calculate that, so from 12,700 crores, suppose they end up growing by 5% to 13,335, and they have a margin of 19% on that, then we are looking at around 2,533 crores in terms of operating profit versus 2,250 crores last time around. So a good 13-14% growth in terms of profitability. But this could be matched even more. So this could even become much better, because if you look at year on year performance, the profitability has grown substantially. So let's see how September numbers pan out. But in terms of net profit, 550 crores, or let's take out the tax part. So before tax profit of 620 crores nearly versus 350 crores is a magnificent jump. So let's see how September pans out. If you look at the shareholding pattern, then promoters hold a decent chunks, 56%, 56.5%. FII holding has remained stable around 8.7%. DII holding has increased from around 15.5% all the way to 18.5%. Public shareholding is around 16%. And even in that public shareholding, if you look at it, there are, you can say, large investors invested, and this corresponds to around, if I calculate this, somewhere around 11.5%. So mainly public shareholding free float is around 5% or so, and that is why the stock did not fall that much. So if you look at the technical chart out here, even when results were not that great, if you look at from June 24, the stock hasn't, you can say, fallen a lot. So from around 5200 or so, 5200 or so, the stock fell during that, you can say, fall in on 4th June. It fell to 4700. It has recovered and now is breaking out. So where one should probably get in, again, do consult your financial advisor before discussion, before taking any call. But in my opinion, one should be looking to get in anywhere around the 20 DMA. The 20 DMA here is around 5886. So around 6,000 levels are pretty good to get into Lchem. From a long-term point of view, I think these numbers could continue. The way the numbers have panned out and the way the index, the pharma index, is performing, this could be a 1-2 year time frame move that could take place at least, and then we'll analyze the results in about 3-4 quarters times. Every quarter do analyze results, but around 6,000 one can accumulate this. From a longer term point of view, I don't have any targets in mind. Do analyze the numbers and the business yourself, and then take a call. So this was a video on Alchem Labs. Please like and subscribe my channel, hit the bell icon so you get videos straight away when I post it. Kindly do support me on Patreon. Thanks a lot for watching. The link will be in the description.